She's not texting you back. She blocked you on everything. She's posting pictures with someone else, smiling like nothing ever happened. And you're thinking about her every second, wondering what went wrong. But here's something you've probably never considered. You might still be living in her head. Not because you tried to win her back, but because you didn't. Some men leave a scar so deep, so unshakable, it doesn't matter who she moves on to, how far she runs, or how much she pretends you were just another guy. If you were the kind of man who stood still while she tested you, who held his ground when she pulled back, who didn't need to scream, beg, or explain himself, then she's still thinking about you. Not because you said something magical, not because you were the perfect guy, but because your presence carried a weight her mind can't release. And today, I'm going to break down why some men never leave her mind, even when she acts like you meant nothing. If you care about becoming the man who leaves a mark, not the man who gets left behind, then listen carefully. You're about to learn emotional strategies most men will never figure out in their lifetime. And if you support this channel by hitting like and subscribing, you help make these life-changing insights accessible to men everywhere. Men like you, who are ready to rise, reclaim their power, and stop chasing what should naturally be drawn to them. Let's get into it. 1. The power of silence and presence. Most men make the same mistake when a woman starts pulling away. They think, maybe I just need to show her how much I care. So they text her again, then again, and when she doesn't respond, they write long paragraphs, explain themselves, apologize for things they didn't even do, and pour their emotions into messages she stopped reading after the first sentence. All of this, it doesn't bring her closer. It pushes her further away. Because here's what they don't realize. Attention is not attraction. Giving more doesn't make her want you more. In fact, it usually does the opposite. The more desperate your energy becomes, the more invisible you become to her. It's not the man who tries harder who stays in her mind. It's the man who doesn't react. The one who doesn't try at all. It's because he doesn't need to. Let that sink in. When a woman pulls away or becomes distant, most men lose control. They try to fix things. They chase. They panic. But the man who understands his power doesn't do any of that. He notices the change, sure, but he stays calm. He doesn't lash out. He doesn't chase. He doesn't explain. He just keeps doing what he's been doing. Living, training, building, thriving. That kind of silence. That's not emptiness. That's presence. And presence is rare. When you go silent, not to punish, not to manipulate, but because your world doesn't collapse without her, she feels something she wasn't prepared for. Curiosity. It's like a switch flips in her mind. She starts wondering what you're thinking. She starts checking your stories, your posts, asking mutual friends what you've been up to. Not because you did anything, but because you didn't. She was expecting a reaction. She expected you to fall apart, to start pleading, to fight for her attention. But you didn't flinch. You didn't even slow down. And that's when you become different from the rest. That's when she realizes, wait, why didn't he chase me? Why is he still so composed? And now, you're in her head, not because you said something powerful, but because you said nothing at all. Most guys talk themselves out of attraction. They over-explain, overthink, and overspeak. But the man who moves in silence commands attention without saying a word. She remembers the way you looked at her, the way you didn't react, the way you respected yourself enough to walk away without turning it into drama. That's a memory that sticks. That's presence. And presence doesn't fade easily. When a man becomes silent but steady, a woman feels his absence in a way that words could never deliver. Your silence starts to echo in her mind, because while she's pretending she's fine, pretending she doesn't care, something deeper is happening. She's wondering, did he care at all? Why hasn't he reached out? Did I make a mistake? And that wondering, that's the beginning of emotional attachment, not the kind you forced. The kind that grows when you pull away with dignity, when you don't fight for attention you never had to begin with. That's what makes you unforgettable. Silence isn't weakness. It's a tool, a shield, a statement. And when used correctly, it becomes your superpower. The man who can be silent in the storm is the man who controls the outcome. Because silence, when it comes from strength, from genuine inner peace, is more attractive than any pickup line, any compliment, any last-ditch attempt to get her back. So next time she goes cold, don't chase. 2. Emotional control, your edge in modern dating. Every man will eventually face that moment. That moment when the woman he's into starts to change. She pulls back a little. She responds slower. Her energy feels different. Maybe she starts texting less. Maybe she suddenly becomes too busy. Or worse, she flirts with another guy right in front of you. And in that moment, every instinct inside you screams, say something, fix this, prove yourself. But that's the trap. You think you need to do something, say the right thing, win her back. But the truth is, the second you start reacting emotionally to her shift, you lose control. You just showed her your emotions depend on her actions. And the moment she sees that, her respect for you begins to fade. Fast. You might not realize it, but every move she makes during this stage, the cold text, the delayed reply, the playful flirt with someone else, it's not always malicious. Sometimes it's subconscious. Sometimes it's just her way of checking your strength. Not your physical strength, your emotional strength. Because if a woman can shake your emotions with a small move, how will you ever protect her in a storm? That's what she's really trying to figure out. And most men fail that test. They get defensive. They get angry. They spiral into panic. They start typing out essays, trying to make things clear. Or worse, they apologize for things they didn't even do, hoping it'll bring her closer. And all it does, it pushes her away. Because now she sees a man who crumbles under pressure. A man whose peace is so fragile that one woman pulling back breaks him. But imagine a different response. Imagine she starts pulling back, and you notice, but you don't chase. You don't send that needy text. You don't ask her if something's wrong every few hours. You simply stay centered. You stay focused on your goals. You hit the gym. You knock out your business goals. You keep living. And your energy stays calm, steady, grounded. Now she's confused. She expected a reaction. She expected you to fold. She thought you'd start chasing like the last guy. But you didn't. And in that confusion, a new kind of tension is born. Not the tension of conflict, the tension of mystery. And mystery is magnetic. This is where emotional control separates boys from men. Most guys think being emotional shows how much they care. They confuse vulnerability with overexposure. But attraction doesn't grow in overexposure. It grows in restraint, in the ability to feel something and not lose control because of it. A real man can feel disappointed and still stay composed. A real man can get ghosted and not break his self-worth. A real man can care deeply about a woman and still put his mission first. That's emotional strength, and it's rare. 3. Unavailable energy. The most misunderstood power. Men who center their entire life around a woman never keep her, because she feels it, that he needs her to be whole. And that weight, it's exhausting. The man who keeps her attention is the one who makes her earn access to him. The one who has something bigger driving him, a purpose, a mission, a vision that's bigger than the relationship. Unavailable energy doesn't mean ghosting her or playing games. It means your time is valuable. Your attention is earned. Your peace is protected. When you're always available, always texting first, always asking to see her, she knows she's already won. But when she senses you got something more important going on, whether it's your business, your training, your growth, she starts trying to insert herself into that world. She'll say she doesn't care. She'll act cold. But she's checking your stories, wondering why you didn't reply, thinking about you more than she expected. That's what happens when you don't make her your oxygen. And once she starts working for your attention, she values it more. That's how the script flips. 4. Masculine mystery. Never be fully known. If she can read you like a book, the mystery dies. And when the mystery dies, the obsession fades. A man who doesn't reveal everything at once, who's thoughtful with his words, who's hard to predict, becomes addictive because she can't quite figure him out. And the more she tries, the deeper she falls. Mystery doesn't mean lying. It means restraint. You don't need to explain every emotion, every thought, or every detail of your life. Share only what matters. Let her experience you in layers. Every conversation should reveal something new, but never everything. The less she knows, the more she imagines, and what she imagines is always more powerful than what you say out loud. 5. Frame control. Never bend for validation. Your frame is how you see yourself, your beliefs, your values, your direction. If you change your actions to get her to like you, you've lost your frame. You've entered hers. And once that happens, she's no longer chasing. You are. Men who hold their frame. Don't skip gym sessions to reply to texts. Don't rearrange their goals to accommodate mood swings. Stay consistent. Protect their peace. They force her to adjust to them, not the other way around. The moment you make her the center of your emotional world, she'll feel it and lose respect. Final words. If this message hit you in the soul, if you're tired of being the guy who gets left behind, and you're ready to become the man who walks forward and never begs for attention again, then do 2 things. Subscribe and support this channel. By doing that, you help bring these insights to other men who need this just as much as you do. Comment, "You men still able," if you made it to the end, so I can see who stayed till the end. See you in the next video.